¿Qué onda, mis Travel Panas? ¿Cómo les va? Estamos de vuelta aquí en la Despegar Travel House con un invitado muy especial y es que tiene una historia bastante interesante y creo que bastante divertida. Se trata de WESLEY. WESLEY, ¿no? Es la pronunciación del nombre. Él es de Sudáfrica, oriundo de Sudáfrica, y vino hasta acá, hasta Latinoamérica, porque se enamoró justamente acá en Latinoamérica de una chica de Argentina. Y por esa razón lo tenemos acá en la Despegar Travel House y nos va a comentar todo lo que tenemos que saber si queremos visitar Sudáfrica, su país de origen, porque Sudáfrica tiene muchísimo para ofrecer. Y aunque podemos prejuzgar por diferentes razones del microclima, por diferentes razones de lo que es África en general, podemos tener un preconcepto, nos puede llegar a sorprender porque tiene cosas que de verdad cuando me puse a ver lo que hay en Sudáfrica me quedé súper sorprendido. Bienvenido WESLEY acá a la Despegar Travel House. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo se siente acá?
Bien, vos?
Bien.
Bien. Good to be here. Thank you for having me. Unfortunately, I don't speak much Spanish.
Okay.
Hablo un poco, pero entiendo más.
Ok.
So, yeah, it's going to have to be in English today.
Yo estoy aprendiendo inglés desde el último año que estoy practicando, así que llegó el momento de practicar y que vean qué tanto aprendí y que vean mis errores acá con WESLEY. Bueno, WESLEY, do you prepare?
I'm prepared, yes.
Okay. Sudáfrica. What is Sudáfrica in general terms?
Yeah, South Africa is a country on the southernmost point of Africa. It's got a lot of natural beauty, lovely beaches, beautiful cities. But I would say the main attraction or the main reason for going is the wildlife.
It's curious because maybe some people listen or know about Africa and have an idea.
Yeah.
But South Africa is very different. All Africa in generally, no?
Africa is made up, I think it's 54 different countries, so there's a wide variety of different things to see all over the continent, and it's a massive continent. But South Africa is probably, if not the most developed of the African countries, so there's also a lot of misconceptions or misperceptions about South Africa that people have, where they think that there are lions and elephants running around in the open, but that's not really the case. It's pretty safe to walk around, very similar to, I suppose, Argentina in that sense.
Okay. Bueno, vamos a dar un recorrido por todo lo que tiene Sudáfrica para ofrecer, de la mano de un nativo en sí mismo. Acá van a estar los subtítulos para que puedan entender todo lo que conversamos. Y la idea es que, bueno, que aprendamos sobre este país. Comencemos por los lugares naturales. What about South African natural places?
There's lots of game parks in South Africa. So a game park that I would, or the way I would explain a game park, I'm not too sure if Argentina's got too many, but I was in Vicencio recently. So it's something similar to that, where it's a natural habitat that has been protected by the government and enclosed to protect the wildlife living there. Plenty of them around the country, but the main one that most people would know about is Kruger National Park.
This is Kruger National Park. This is the place, no?
Yes, that's Kruger National Park. It is in the northeastern part of the country. If I remember correctly, it is actually bigger in size than the United Kingdom. There are various camps throughout the park where people are able to rent chalets or cabins. You can camp as well.
Can you camp in National Kruger Park?
Yes, yeah, you can camp. So throughout the park, like I said, I think there's approximately 13, we call them campsites, but at these places you will be able to camp. Alternatively, you can stay in cabins. They provide accommodation like that, and then there'll be a restaurant and a little shop, and it's enclosed, so the animals can't get into the area where you are staying.
How many days do you recommend for a stay in this park?
Depending on how long people can be there, from my personal experience of going to Kruger, I would say 5 days as a minimum if you want to see everything. There's two different ways you can go about it. As a foreigner or a tourist, generally people will make use of tour companies who will accommodation like that, and then there'll be a restaurant and a little shop, and of those looks like.
It's a safari car.
Exactly, yeah. You will then be taken around by a guide who, as you're driving through the park, will obviously try and get the people to see as much as possible in terms of wildlife, and because of its high.
But you keep the distance with animals, no?
Yeah, I mean you can get pretty close to them, right next to the car.
Well, you can't touch.
No, you can definitely not touch, especially
only watch.
Yeah, you can only watch, take photos, things like that. But yeah, you'll have a guide who takes you around and he'll explain a lot of the natural vegetation, the animals, their habits, give you a bit of insight into it. So I'd say a lot of tourists enjoy enjoy this type of game viewing because of that aspect, but you are also able to do it in your own private vehicle. So you can drive around, lease a car, and then drive through the park as well.
But it's more safe in that vehicle?
I wouldn't say it's more safe or more dangerous. The animals seem to be quite used to people driving around in these vehicles, being in the open like that, but the park is quite strict, or all of our parks are quite strict with regards to getting out of the vehicle. You can't lean outside of the car. You must stay with all your body parts within the vehicle. The animals, especially in Kruger, are extremely wild. They've never, had interactions with humans one-on-one. It's pretty dangerous. I mean, people often get killed.
Okay. What kind of animals did you see in this park?
I've pretty much seen all of the game that you can see there, but just to give you a few examples, I mean, the typical one would be a lion, elephant, white rhino. I haven't seen black rhino in Kruger, but they are there.
Okay.
There's buffalo, leopard, cheetah. Those are the big ones that people like to see.
Okay, if I wanna see a lion, 100% of probabilities for to see in this park.
Best place to see big cats, so leopards, lions, things like that, would probably be between Skakuza, which is the main hub of Kruger Park, and going north to another camp called Satara, which is more of the natural savanna that people become accustomed with of Africa. Those would be the two parks that the two camps that I would recommend going to see big cats.
Nos vamos a un lugar muy popular de Sudáfrica porque es el lugar que está en la parte más austral de todo el continente africano y es el Cabo de Buena Esperanza. No sé cómo es el nombre en inglés, hay que chequearlo acá.
Cape of Good Hope.
Tell me about this place.
The Cape of Good Hope is, in essence, the area surrounding Cape Town. It was the initial place where the Dutch East India Company, when they first arrived in South Africa, they set up base and landed. I think it's a game park that you can go and walk around. No lions or anything of that nature, but it's more just sightseeing the beautiful views of the ocean.
But the water is so cool, no?
Yeah, the whole of Cape Town area, the Cape of Good Hope, and up the western part of South Africa, it is very cold. You can swim. Like I said, the water is very cold, and I would probably recommend going in with a wetsuit.
Can you find penguins, no?
Yeah, there's also, within the Cape of Good Hope, there's a town called Simon's Town, there's a penguin colony found there that people often go and see. They walk around the streets.
Okay. Le voy a preguntar sobre una ciudad. Acá.
Ya, estoy confundido.
Esto como que es una conversación acá de tres ustedes, él y yo. Acá le vamos compartiendo. Vamos a hablar sobre Ciudad del Cabo. Ciudad del Cabo es una de las ciudades también más populares de Sudáfrica que vale la pena visitar por completo. What about Cape Town?
Cape Town is probably your most popular tourist destination in South Africa. It's probably the most well-run city in South Africa as well. Things work there much better than in other parts. There are so many things to see in Cape Town. From the beautiful beaches, a lot of the historical monuments, Table Mountain.
And it's modern too, no?
Yeah, it's very modern in terms of Africa. In certain parts of Cape Town, Observatory, Sea Point, those areas, you're able to use public transport safely.
Can you recommend me 3 places in Cape Town?
The V&A waterfront is very nice. There's a lot of different things to do there. It's a shopping center, but it's not only a shopping center. There's various different things going on in and around the area. It's like a harbor. You often see seals climbing on the boats there. You can go on seal cruises. Obviously good shopping. There's an aquarium, and obviously you got beautiful views of Table Mountain right from there.
This is an amazing stadium because South Africa get a lot of popularity in 2010 with the World Cup.
It was a big thing for South Africa at the time as well. They built quite a lot of new stadiums, widely used now for international sporting events, rugby, football, but mainly rugby, I would say. I think the 2010 World Cup put South Africa on the map for a lot of people because I don't think Africa is maybe people's first choice of holiday destination. I wouldn't say ignorance, but just the unknowing and not knowing what's there. I think it was good for our country to put it on the map and show people that what South Africa has to offer.
Ahora vamos a hablar de uno de los lugares más icónicos de Sudáfrica, que es la montaña de la mesa, o también conocida sobre la Table Mountain. Wesley, this is Table Mountain, one of the most popular spots on Sudafrica. Is very difficult stay there or easy?
Depending on what you are looking for, you can stay beneath the mountain, which would be your area of sea point, observatory, things like that. But if you want the view of the mountain like this, you have to go to the other side of the bay, which would be Table View, which you would be able to get the photos that we're looking at here.
There are a legend or some history about it.
Not that I'm aware of. There is something called the tablecloth that happens when there's certain weather conditions. The cloud will actually come over the mountain, and it looks like a tablecloth hanging over the mountain.
But this is Cape Town, no?
That's Cape Town.
You can. It's very easy go to the Table Mountain if you are in Cape Town.
Yes, very easy. They offer cable cars, rides up the mountain. I suppose similar that you would get in Bariloche, for instance. I'm not too sure, but you get a beautiful view of Cape Town and the surrounding areas. You can also hike up Table Mountain. I think it's quite a rigorous hike. So if you do intend doing that, I would probably use a guide or something along those lines to get up there, or a local that's done it before.
There are another important natural park, no?
The Tsitsikamma is a place I know quite well as well, quite close to where I come from. It's a natural park, I'd say similar to Kruger National Park in the sense that it's a government-run national park that is protected along the southern coast of South Africa. It's the start of the Otter Trail for those that are interested in doing hiking. It's like a 5-day hike along the coast. That's the one nice thing about South Africa. The majority of our beaches look like that, white sands, blue waters. So we're very lucky in that sense. So people always go, it's one of the main attractions within the Tsitsikamma Park is the suspension bridge. So people go just to walk across and take photos. There's a restaurant there. There's a little shop where people can buy, I think in Argentina you call them the artisanal shops, you know, those ones where you can get all the tourist goodies. Yeah.
There are a place that do you want to recommend for us?
You've covered two of them. If I were to recommend people coming to South Africa, my first place would be Cape Town, and then Kruger National Park I would say is a must. The place where I'm from, Port Elizabeth, there's a route from Cape Town to PE or from PE to Cape Town called the Garden Route. Yeah, so now this is Port Elizabeth. It's not much of a tourist attraction as I would say Cape Town is, but it's a beautiful city, lovely beaches, warm water, and it's very central for a lot of things to see. So it's the only place in the world where there's 5 different biomes that meet in one area.
This city is more quiet than Cape Town, have another vibe, no?
It's a lot more chilled and laid back. People more interested in the slower life, being outdoors, going hiking, surfing.
And it's your home.
That's my home, exactly, yeah.
You know very well.
Yeah, I know PE very well. Another place I could recommend just down the road from PE would be Jeffreys Bay. For those people that are interested in surfing, Jeffreys Bay is probably one of the best surf spots in the world for...
Okay. Do you like surf?
I personally don't surf, but a lot of people in PE do surf, and or South Africa, and this is probably the main place where people come and surf. The WSL, the World Surf League, holds a competition there every year. Yeah. It's a must-see for surfers. Yeah.
Amazing places. Thank you for share all your perspectives about your country. Hay lugares realmente hermosos, de verdad, en Sudáfrica. Se nota que es un país que hay que visitar sí o sí y nos da una perspectiva diferente de lo que es el continente africano, que por defecto uno como que tiene esta cuestión de la sabana árida y bastante salvaje, y nos encontramos con lugares que son un completo paraíso. Thank you for your visit.
No problem.
Good chit chat.
Good chit chat.
Good chit chat. Yeah. You como que vuelves seguido para Latinoamérica, ¿no?
My fiance is actually Argentinian, so currently we're just here visiting her family. We recently got engaged here in Argentina. It's my 3rd time here, so done a bit of traveling here as well, and it's a beautiful country. So.
Bueno, muchas gracias acá a Wesley que nos acompañó. Queda como invitado de la casa para que venga y nos comparta sus experiencias viajeras cuando quiera. Un abrazo grande desde acá, Mr. El Panas, y espero les haya gustado esta charla. Nos vemos cuando en otra próxima edición. Bye bye.
Cheers.